In the 8th month, my fiance is pregnant with her white moonlight's child. The woman finally realized something was wrong. She asked her brother, "I've been busy with my pregnancy lately. Hasn't Hao Yuan been causing trouble?" Her brother was bewildered. Hao Yuan already announced the cancellation of the engagement to the public. He even packed up your things and sent them back. You didn't know? The woman suddenly froze. Her face turned pale. She didn't know. On the day I was discharged, I overheard her conversation with her brother. Lin Kai-wei, are you crazy? You really hid it from Hao Yuan and took his bone marrow for Xia Qiang? In the early morning at a private hospital, Lin Ruyu rushed into the hospital room. He pointed at Lin Kai-wei sitting on the sofa and yelled. Lin Kai-wei slightly raised her head, a beautiful face. Her voice was hoarse. She said helplessly, "Brother, only he and Xia Qiang's bone marrows are compatible. I really had no other choice." Lin Ruyu picked up from the table the report about my hospitalization for over half a year due to an infection. He glanced at it, unable to contain his anger. No other choice? You clearly knew Hao Yuan's health wasn't good, yet you tricked him into the hospital for a stomach problem and made him take this risk. I really don't understand. Has Xia Qiang cast a spell on you? That year, you went street racing just to make him smile, which led to you being paralyzed for 5 years. For these 5 years, it was Hao Yuan who was by your side. Now that you're well, Xia Qiang got sick, got dumped, and came back to the country. You immediately hid it from Hao Yuan and took his marrow for Xia Qiang. More than half a year has passed. Xia Qiang's illness had just gotten better when you messed around and did IVF with him. Outside the hospital room, I had just finished the discharge procedures. I heard Lin Ruyu's angry words. My hand holding onto the wall froze. The smile on my face stiffened. My whole body felt like it had fallen into an ice cellar. Half an hour ago, the doctor informed me that the infection from my stomach surgery had fully recovered. I could be discharged. Lin Kai-wei, right there and then, wore a wedding dress and proposed to me. I was so happy I cried. I even posted on my social media saying that today was the happiest day. In the hospital room, Lin Kai-wei lowered her head, her messy black hair covered, her dark eyes, making her expression unclear. Brother, help me block the news about this. Don't let him know. Xia Qiang's grandmother doesn't have much time left. Her only wish is to hold his child before she passes away. I don't want her to have any regrets. Lin Ruyu's handsome face darkened. His dark eyes were filled with anger. Then what about Hao Yuan? Who in our circle doesn't know he's liked you for 8 years? I remember it very clearly. 8 years ago, Xia Qiang confessed to the eldest daughter of the Bai family and was rejected. You, in order to help Xia Qiang get revenge, deliberately approached Hao Yuan to flirt with him, embarrassing the eldest Bai daughter who liked him. Now you're pregnant with Xia Qiang's child. He has loved you for 8 years. What are you going to tell him to do? Lin Kai-wei lowered her eyes for a long time before speaking hoarsely. I've arranged everything. Hao Yuan will never know in his life that I'm pregnant with Xia Qiang's child. As for the future, I've gotten used to his presence over these 8 years. I will marry him. I didn't listen to the rest. A nurse happened to be walking towards the room. I lowered my head, pretending I had just come back. The two people in the room looked at each other and immediately fell silent. On the way home, Lin Kai-wei discussed wedding details with me, but I didn't hear a single word. I watched the tall buildings pass by outside the window, feeling a chill all over my body. I first met Lin Kai-wei when I was 15, at a party for my parents and their partners. That fleeting glance of the girl's pure and proud appearance remained in my mind. When I was 16, I participated in a racing competition under the identity of Wu Ju and saved Lin Kai-wei's life. From then on, a long, secret crush began. When I was 20, Bai Qinghan started pursuing me. That same year, Lin Kai-wei attended a party hosted by my friend. That night, she proactively added me on WeChat. I was happy all night that night. Also from that year, I knew Lin Kai-wei had a childhood friend named Xia Qiang, but Xia Qiang had a free-spirited nature and had been with more than 10 girlfriends. He just didn't like Lin Kai-wei. When I was 21, Lin Kai-wei confessed to me. I agreed to be with Lin Kai-wei. When I was 22, Lin Kai-wei was in a serious accident while racing and was rushed to the emergency room. The next day, the doctor announced that Lin Kai-wei was disabled. The disabled Lin Kai-wei seemed to become a different person. Her personality became gloomy and irritable. Because of my love for Lin Kai-wei, I refused to move abroad with my parents, choosing to stay in the country to take care of Lin Kai-wei. When I was 27, Lin Kai-wei's legs had recovered. The old master of the Lin family announced to the public that she would be in charge of the Lin family. Lin Kai-wei was momentarily incredibly smug. That same year, I suddenly fainted at home and then woke up. The doctor told me I had a stomach ailment and needed surgery. Thinking back now, what I thought was a sweet blessing from heaven was a relationship full of deceit from the very beginning. More than half a year ago, I had a lot of blood drawn at the hospital. Lin Kai-wei said it was for testing. It turned out she was tricking me into donating marrow to Xia Qiang. The Bentley slowly drove into the villa area, 12 o'clock at night. Lin Kai-wei's phone rang. I glanced at the caller ID. It was Xia Qiang. She decisively hung up, her fair fingers gently touching the screen. Not long after, she stood up and left in a hurry. I went to the window. In the endless night, that Bentley gradually drove away. I called my mother. Mom, I've thought it through. I agreed to the arranged marriage with the Shen family. 7 days later, as soon as I get off the plane, they'll go register our marriage with her. Mom probably guessed what I've been through. She comforted me with a few words and patiently analyzed the situation with me. Have you thought it through? Hao Yuan, the Hao family isn't what it used to be. This marriage alliance is no joke. Although the Shen and Lin families are miles apart, they have been enemies for generations, like water and fire. Once you marry into the Shen family might ask you to completely cut ties with the Lin family. On the other end of the line, my dark eyes lowered slightly. 6 years ago, the Hao family, due to a thriving business, moved the company abroad and settled there. Not long after the company moved abroad, the Hao family faced an economic crisis. The Shen family, also abroad, had expressed to the Hao family many times their hope for a marriage alliance between the two. But my parents knew I liked Lin Kaiwei and never considered sacrificing my marriage to save the company. Now I don't want any connection with Lin Kaiwei anymore. Agreeing to the marriage alliance with the Shen family has become the best choice. Mom, I've thought it through. I don't want to see Lin Kaiwei again in this lifetime. On the other end, Mom was silent for a few seconds. Tomorrow, your father and I will go to the Shen family to discuss the marriage. I tossed and turned all night, unable to sleep. The next morning, Lin Kaiwei didn't come back. She only sent me a message. Hao Yuan, there's a problem at the company. I'm going on a business trip for 3 days. I didn't reply. I booked a flight to Yue country for 7 days later and started packing my things. For the past few years, I've always lived with Lin Kaiwei, so I have a lot of stuff. Now that the Hao family situation isn't good, I listed all the items I could sell online. At dusk, a notification for a message from a stranger popped up on my social media app. Hao Yuan. I clicked to see. The other person's avatar was a successful IVF pregnancy test report. The nickname was Happy Xia Qiang. This account of Xia Qiang's was a newly created private account. The matter of Lin Kaiwei's pregnancy is something she doesn't dare to publicize. I was the only follower. A minute later, Xia Qiang shared a daily post with me that he had just published. It was a photo of him going for a prenatal checkup with Lin Kaiwei. It also included a status update. First time being a mother, she's a little nervous. I saw through his intentions. After leaving a like, I commented, "You got my marrow, your illness is cured, and now you're here to provoke me?" On the second day, I went to say goodbye to each of my good friends. On the way, I gave my limited edition watch and sneakers to the buyer. On the way home, I received the second daily post shared by Xia Qiang. It was still a few photos. This time, it was him choosing maternity clothes with Lin Kaiwei. Pink, white, every maternity outfit was very beautiful. I scrolled back to the previous post. Xia Qiang had replied to my comment. His tone was extremely arrogant. "It's not like I begged you to donate your marrow to me. It was Kaiwei. She was worried about me, so she forced me to accept it." I let out a cold laugh and replied with a single word, "Oh." On the third day, I took the gifts I had given Lin Kaiwei over the years, designer bags, bracelets, and high heels, and sold them all. Xia Qiang posted again. This time, it was him and Lin Kaiwei booking a sky-high priced postpartum care center. He even arrogantly added a sentence, "Getting the CEO girlfriend pregnant with my child, you don't have to worry about her pregnancy and childbirth at all." In the afternoon, Lin Kaiwei finally came back. She looked at the somewhat empty bedroom and the black suitcase that appeared out of nowhere, her delicate eyebrows furrowed tightly. "Why is the house so empty? I can't find the bags you gave me anywhere. Everything was fine. Why did you suddenly buy a suitcase?" My dark eyes lowered slightly. I casually made an excuse. "Those bags are out of style." So I threw them away. I've been wanting to travel lately, but I changed my mind. Lin Kaiwei thought I was angry because she wasn't with me for 3 days. She took out a purchase contract for a Lamborghini, a limited edition she had prepared long ago. A Lamborghini supercar purchase contract. "I've been busy with work these past few days. I ordered a supercar for you. I'll go pick it up with you when the time comes." I lowered my eyes to the contract. Like other men, I'm obsessed with supercars. This Lamborghini is one I've been eyeing recently. Lin Kaiwei had specially ordered it in diamond black, which is also my favorite color. For these 8 years, Lin Kaiwei has clearly remembered everything I like. If I hadn't overheard her conversation with Lin Ruyu outside the hospital room, I would probably be very moved right now. "Thanks." I put the purchase contract aside. Lin Kaiwei frowned and nuzzled into my chest. "Are you still angry? There's a party tonight. We'll take you out to have some fun." I was about to refuse, but Lin Kaiwei pulled me downstairs and into the Bentley. The Bentley hadn't been driving for long when Lin Kaiwei's phone rang. It was a call from Xia Qiang. I couldn't hear clearly what they were saying. I only vaguely heard a sentence. "Kaiwei, save me." Lin Kaiwei's face tensed up. She tapped on the screen, and from some app, found Xia Qiang's real-time location. She quickly turned the car around. "We're not going to the party for now. Xia Qiang has been kidnapped. I have to go save him." Lin Kaiwei drove very fast, running more than 10 red lights. 20 minutes later, Lin Kaiwei identified that Xia Qiang was in the black car ahead. She narrowed her eyes and slammed on the accelerator. With a loud bang, the rear of the black car was instantly dented. At the same time, another car belonging to Xia Qiang's accomplices crashed hard into us. Xia Qiang's accomplice's car rammed hard into us. I couldn't dodge in time. My head was immediately hit and started bleeding. The pain was so intense I couldn't speak. The passenger seat took such a severe impact, but Lin Kaiwei didn't even glance at me. She was focused on Xia Qiang and the black car. After ramming it 3 consecutive times, the black car was forced to stop. The people inside quickly ran to their accomplice's car. Lin Kaiwei pushed open the car door and looked at Xia Qiang in the back seat. Xia Qiang, were you scared? Are you hurt anywhere? Xia Qiang suddenly hugged Lin Kaiwei tightly. Then he lowered his head, revealing a face swollen from being hit. His voice was hoarse. It was my dad's business enemies. They only punched me once. It's nothing serious. This appearance of Xia Qiang made Lin Kaiwei's heart ache. She roared. What do you mean it's nothing serious? All these years, even when you were abroad, I was always secretly protecting you. How could you have ever experienced something like this? Kaiwei, it's all because you were too late. I was so scared just now. I thought I'd never see you again. Don't be scared. It's my fault. He'll take you for a full-body checkup now. Lin Kaiwei helped Xia Qiang into the back seat of the Bentley. She stepped on the gas and reached the hospital in just 5 minutes. After getting out of the car, she helped Xia Qiang run to the emergency room. Throughout the entire process, she didn't notice that I, in the passenger seat, had bloodshot eyes. I watched their retreating figures, suppressing the pain. I pushed open the car door and stumbled towards the hospital entrance. In the evening, it was pouring rain. I didn't even use my hands to shield myself from the rain, letting the rainwater soak my wound. The nurse at the triage counter saw me and gasped in surprise. She quickly treated my wound and then took me for a checkup. An hour later, I weakly finished the checkup. Only then did I have time to pick up my phone. The screen showed more than 10 missed calls. All of them were from Lin Kaiwei. Without hesitation, I turned off the phone. Thinking that I would need an IV drip until late at night, I asked the nurse to get me a hospital room. In a daze, I recalled old memories. Ever since Lin Kaiwei became disabled, I attended all the business cocktail parties in her place. One time, at a banquet, 2 CEOs, due to a disagreement, flipped the table on the spot. All the plates on the table immediately fell to the ground. A broken piece of ceramic flew and hit my wrist. After Lin Kaiwei found out, she rushed over. On the spot, she made her assistant cut business ties with those 2 families and hurriedly took me to the hospital to clean the wound. I felt she was making a big deal out of nothing, but Lin Kaiwei gently comforted me. Hao Yuan, you are the most important man in my heart. I don't want to see any wounds on you, not even a small scratch. It's always been the trend for men to dote on women, but I just want to protect you. Now my own face is covered in blood, but she ignores me for another man. She said she wouldn't let me get hurt, yet she could let me risk donating marrow to someone else. Even marriage and having children, she did it secretly with someone else behind my back. Before falling asleep, I saw Happy Xia Qiang share a new post. It was a video of Lin Kaiwei in order to coax him to sleep, willingly kneeling to wash his feet. I watched it over and over again, only feeling a panic in my chest. I couldn't sleep all night. The next morning, I reluctantly went home. As I stepped into the villa, the butler, Uncle Chen, had a grim expression. Young master, madam is waiting for you by the pool. She's not in a good mood. I walked towards the pool. From a distance, I saw Lin Kaiwei comforting Xia Qiang. Xia Qiang had his head down. The corners of his eyes were red, as if he had suffered a great injustice. Lin Kaiwei saw that I was finally back. The anger on her face could no longer be hidden. Her whole body exuded a cold aura. Was it you who deliberately revealed Xia Qiang's whereabouts to his father's enemies? My steps halted. I looked towards Xia Qiang on the sofa. That man tilted his head and looked at me with disgust. His thin lips curled up into a smug smile. I understood immediately. I rubbed the space between my eyebrows in frustration. I don't even know who his father's enemies are, so how could I have revealed his whereabouts? Lin Kaiwei's expression was dark. She pulled out a stack of photos and threw them in front of me. Then these photos of you meeting with Uncle Sia's enemies. How do you explain them? I lowered my head and glanced at the photos on the table. My face grew a little cold. These are photos from a few days ago when I sold my watch, making the transaction with the buyer at a cafe. No wonder that man was so straightforward. He didn't even bargain with me. He just requested to meet at a cafe. Seeing that I said nothing, Lin Kaiwei thought I had tacitly admitted it. Her face became terrifyingly cold. Have I ever told you that no matter what rumors people spread about me and Xia Qiang, he and I are innocent? There's nothing between us at all. I've always only seen Xia Qiang as a brother. He is truly very kind. And you've been with me for 8 years. How I've treated you for these 8 years, you should know very well in your heart. Not to mention, I proposed to you a few days ago, yet you still hurt him like this, giving him a hard time. Is that acceptable? Listening to Lin Kaiwei's words, my heart felt like it was being pricked by needles, a sharp pain. In the 8 years of loving Lin Kaiwei, there was 1 year where she pursued me, deliberately to help Xia Qiang get revenge. There were 5 years where she was disabled, and I took care of her. During the 5 years she was disabled, she was depressed, she broke down, she cried her heart out in the middle of the night. All of this was just because she wanted to satisfy Xia Qiang's vanity by racing recklessly. But all this suffering because of Xia Qiang, she has forgotten it all. During those 5 years, so that she could recover better, I secretly signed up for rehabilitation courses. I massaged her legs every single day, never missing a day. At that time, she was often depressed, so I went to consult the best psychologist in Linqing to learn how to comfort the emotions of a disabled patient. She doesn't remember any of my efforts. How ironic. I really want to ask, didn't she say she only sees Xia Qiang as a brother? So why is she doing IVF with her brother now? Yes. For 8 years. How you've treated me. How you've treated him. I've only come to understand clearly these past few days. Lin Kaiwai's face hardened slightly. What on earth are you making a fuss about? I don't want to argue. I pointed to the bandage on my head and laughed self-deprecatingly. Yesterday he was kidnapped, and my head was also injured. I got 5 stitches. Am I stupid enough to harm him by getting myself covered in scars? But Lin Kaiwai's mind is now completely focused on Xia Qiang. She still doesn't believe me. I looked at the woman's tense jawline, glad that in 3 days I would be leaving. Lin Kaiwei, if you assume I did it, then tell me, how do you want to resolve this? It's not that I don't believe you, it's that I've known Xia Qiang for 16 years and 7 months, and he has never deceived anyone. Lin Kaiwei furrowed her brows. Hao Yuan, you made Xia Qiang sad, so you have to be responsible for comforting him. Just then, Xia Qiang threw the ring on his hand into the pool. He exclaimed in surprise, Kaiwei, the ring you gave me accidentally fell into the pool. As he spoke, Xia Qiang looked at me. His thin lips curled into a provocative smirk. How about this? You don't need to coax me anymore. You go pick up that ring, and he'll forgive you for everything you did to hurt me. It was the beginning of winter. The pool water was bone-chillingly cold. The wound on my head hadn't healed yet. I looked down at the seated Lin Kaiwei. The woman's brows were lowered. I couldn't see her eyes clearly. Her long, slender fingers tapped lightly on the table. Her always cold and arrogant head remained lowered. She didn't give me a single glance. At this moment, I only felt a sharp pain in my heart. I remembered 6 months after Lin Kaiwei was diagnosed with her disability. Old Master Lin came to the hospital to visit her. Learning that the hope for recovery was slim, he began to choose another heir. That night, Lin Kaiwei disappeared from her hospital room. When I found her, I discovered she was pushing her wheelchair into the turbulent sea, letting the seawater rise to her chest. I hurriedly tried to persuade her, but was pushed away. Stop pretending to care about me. You're just my boyfriend, not my husband. If you really want to care for me, the wind is strong and the waves are high right now. Go swim a lap. After that, I'll listen to you. I stared at her blankly. I actually wanted to say I wasn't pretending. I truly wanted to be her husband, so even though I couldn't swim, I didn't hesitate. I turned and dove into the sea. The waves were huge, the wind strong. I was quickly swept into the ocean and lost consciousness. When I opened my eyes again, I was met with Lin Kaiwei's glistening, worried eyes. Why didn't you tell me that you can't swim? Are you crazy? Daring to jump into the sea when you can't even swim? I looked up at her, my voice hoarse. Lin Kaiwei, even if your legs never heal, I still want to marry you. I really like you more than you think. From then on, Lin Kaiwei never took me to the sea again. She even forbade filling the indoor pool with water. It was because I felt that a pool without water looked strange, that Lin Kaiwei compromised and had the maids fill and change the water daily. Thinking of this, I smirked. My handsome face was expressionless. You want me to get the ring, right? Fine, I'll go get it. As I spoke, without even taking off my coat, I turned and jumped into the pool. The freezing water seeped into my skin, so cold that my whole body trembled. I slowly sank. Fear engulfed me, but I still gritted my teeth and didn't call for help. The butler standing nearby exclaimed in shock, "Oh my god, the young master's head is bleeding." Lin Kaiwei took off her coat, jumped into the pool and pulled me out. She roared, "That's enough! Why are you so heartless? Couldn't you have just turned and walked away just now?" I looked up at the diamond ring at the bottom of the pool and said coldly, "Didn't you tell me to make him happy? Me being like this now, your man must be very satisfied, right?" Lin Kaiwei frowned. Her delicate little face was frighteningly dark. "How many times have I told you I really only see Xia Qiang as a brother? The Xia family isn't insignificant in Lan Cheng. If outsiders found out about what you did, what would happen? Public opinion isn't so easy to suppress these days. I told you to humor him, so he wouldn't be angry anymore. Isn't everything I do for your own good?" Lin Kaiwei's tone was full of deep affection, as if everything was for my sake. But after hearing it, I laughed in anger. She said public opinion isn't easy to suppress. Back then, the great heir of the Lin family was disabled because of Xia Qiang's racing. Wasn't that incident also suppressed? Xia Qiang causes all sorts of trouble, bullying at school, bullying the weak, and fearing the strong. The Xia family's reputation is not good. Haven't they been living smoothly all these years thanks to Lin Kaiwei? Even the fact that they did in vitro fertilization, didn't she also keep it a secret? Now even the kidnapping, which was actually his own doing, Lin Kaiwei tells me that public opinion isn't easy to suppress. In the end, I'm still not as important as Xia Qiang in Lin Kaiwei's heart. I didn't want to say another word to Lin Kaiwei. I took off my drenched black coat and walked slowly towards the living room. I hadn't taken more than a few steps, perhaps from too much blood loss from my head. I suddenly fainted. Lin Kaiwei's expression changed drastically. Lin Kaiwei quickly walked towards me, but just as she was about to support me, Xia Qiang suddenly squatted on the ground, corners of his eyes red. "Kaiwei, my stomach hurts so much. Help me upstairs to lie down for a bit." Lin Kaiwei's steps faltered and she drew back, the hand that was reaching for me. She turned to help Xia Qiang up, letting my head hit the ground hard. She looked at the butler and left only one sentence. "Uncle Chen, take the young master to the hospital." I woke up to a pair of glistening, worried eyes. Seeing I was awake, Lin Kaiwei hurriedly went to call the doctor. After confirming I was okay, she breathed a sigh of relief. My sharp eyes noticed a new string of Buddhist beads on my left hand. It seemed to be the one line Kaiwei usually wore. The assistant beside me said with a smile, "Young master, you wouldn't wake up. Co. Lin was so worried she gave you the prayer beads she's worn for over 10 years. Last night, she even swore to Buddha that as long as you woke up safely, she would be a vegetarian for the rest of her life. She wouldn't touch cigarettes or alcohol anymore." I frowned, taking off the beads in disgust and handing them to Lin Kaiwei. "You don't need to change your habits for me." Lin Kaiwei didn't take them, putting the beads back on my hand. She said gently, "Hao Yuan, back when I was disabled, didn't you make a similar vow?" My thick eyebrows knitted together. In the second year after Lin Kaiwei became disabled, I heard that the Ling Xuan Temple in Lincheng was very sacred, so I took Lin Kaiwei there that night to pray. That day, I prayed before Buddha, willing to trade everything I had for Lin Kaiwei's health, and Lin Kaiwei also prayed to Buddha that in 5 years, she would marry me as my bride. At that time, looking at the prayer slip written by Lin Kaiwei herself, my eyes turned red. Lin Kaiwei threw herself into my arms and comforted me for a long time. That was one of the few days when Lin Kaiwei only had eyes for me. In the end, only when Xiaqiang isn't here does Lin Kaiwei have eyes for me. Now that Xiaqiang is back, Lin Kaiwei's gaze is no longer focused on me. I looked at Lin Kaiwei's small face, which seemed to be waiting for praise. My dark eyes lowered slightly, feeling a bit drowsy. Waking up again, it was already afternoon. I got up, intending to ask the doctor when I could be discharged. Before I could even push the door open, I heard Lin Kaiwei and Lin Ruyu talking in the hallway. "When are you and Hao Yuan planning to hold the wedding?" Lin Ruyu asked Lin Kaiwei doubtfully. Her glistening eyes lowered slightly. She said faintly, "I told him last time. I plan to hold the wedding at the end of the month." Lin Ruyu nodded and instructed, "This wedding must be held on a grand scale." Not sure what came to his mind, Lin Ruyu changed the subject. "Speaking of which, what a coincidence. You're getting married this month. I heard our rival, the Xin family, is also having a wedding soon. That groom's name is also Hao Yuan." Hearing this, I hurriedly pushed the door open and coughed lightly twice. The two of them immediately stopped talking. That evening, the doctor announced I could be discharged. After returning home, I received a friend request. The other person sent 3 words, Shen Qingqiao. I thought it might be the person I was going to marry and accepted the request. As soon as I accepted, she sent a dowry list. It was a notebook densely packed with details of the dowry. I skimmed through it, only feeling that it was countless. Then, Shen Qingqiao sent 2 more messages. "This is my dowry. See if you're satisfied. I heard from Auntie that you're flying the day after tomorrow and will arrive at the airport the morning after. Auntie and I will go pick you up then." I thought for a few seconds and replied, "The dowry is too much. You can reduce it a bit." She didn't reply. All night, Lin Kaiwei kept trying to find topics to talk to me about, but I was never interested. Lin Kaiwei thought I was still angry about what happened before. To make me happy, she had her assistant prepare a pre-wedding bachelor party for the next day. The next day, everyone in our circle knew this was Lin Kaiwei's pre-wedding bachelor party. That night, many people came. As soon as I arrived at the party venue, Lin Kaiwei took my hand and took out 2 car purchase contracts. She first handed 1 car contract to me. Her eyes were glistening and solemn. "The supercar from last time, I always felt it wasn't worthy of you. These past 2 days, I've ordered a new supercar for you." Pausing for a moment, she handed the original Lamborghini purchase contract to the person beside her, a dapperly dressed Xia Qiang. She said gently, "Xia Qiang, this car was originally for your brother-in-law. Now he has a new car. This one is for you. It's just that you're getting the short end of the stick." Xia Qiang was overjoyed as he took the purchase contract. The smile on his lips was almost impossible to hide. "It's okay. Today, the brother-in-law is the most important." He said that anyone with a discerning eye could see immediately that the Lamborghini supercar Lin Kaiwei gave to Xiaqiang was a nationwide limited edition. This time, the new supercar bought for me was just a normal sports car, only slightly more expensive. The guests couldn't help but start whispering among themselves. Is the man Kaiwei wants to marry really Hao Yuan? This is clearly her and Hao Yuan's pre-wedding bachelor party, so why is she also giving a gift to Xiaqiang? Making all sorts of excuses, isn't it just to give that nationwide limited edition supercar to Xiaqiang? Everyone knows Hao Yuan loves cars as much as his own life. Isn't this brilliant move by Lin Kaiwei just meant to make him sick? I heard Xiaqiang is a very good racer. I sat in a corner, listening to the gossip around me. I heard a rumor that he's the famous racer Wu Ju. Kaiwei initially fell for him because Wu Ju saved her life on the racetrack. I frowned slightly. Wu Ju? Isn't that me? Before I could think it through, many people around me went up to Xiaqiang with wine glasses, a barrage of flattery. "Xiaqiang, Kaiwei treats you so well, giving away such an expensive supercar just like that. This white suit of yours is so handsome, it makes you look like a real prince. I heard you're a great racer, so handsome and talented, a perfect match for Kaiwei." More and more people went to flatter Xiaqiang, all of them forgetting that I was today's main character. It wasn't until an hour later that the atmosphere became lively. People started singing and playing games. Lin Kaiwei always sat next to Xiaqiang, her eyes following him. In the middle of it, Xia Qiang went out to take a call. When he returned, his expression was dark. He was in a bad mood. Lin Kaiwei noticed he was unhappy and coaxed him in a low voice. There, are you angry? Don't drink. You haven't been well these past few days. When you're better, I'll drink with you. Xia Qiang still held the wine glass tightly, not letting go. Lin Kaiwei sighed and took out a black card with no credit limit from her wallet and gave it to him. This black card quickly caused a stir. Could it be that Kaiwei still has lingering feelings for Xia Qiang? They say no matter how perfect the current lover is, they can't compare to a childhood sweetheart who falls from the sky. Turns out, it's all true. I sat quietly in the corner playing on my phone, as if the surrounding commotion had nothing to do with me. Xia Qiang glanced around. His gaze landed on me, and he walked over. Today is your and Kaiwei's pre-wedding bachelor party, but I stole all the limelight. Everyone is coaxing me, trying to curry favor with me. You must be very upset, right? I knew Xia Qiang wanted to make me angry, but I would no longer get angry or sad over their affairs. Seeing that I paid him no mind, a cold glint flashed in Xia Qiang's dark eyes. His gaze fell upon the men's watch on my wrist. Jealousy flashed in his eyes. Suddenly, he snatched it. Are you crazy? What do you want to do? I reached out to grab it back, but Xia Qiang subtly used his strength. His eyes, looking at this watch, flashed with envy and unwillingness. I heard this was a gift from Lin Kaiwei's father to you as his future son-in-law. I looked at him coldly, about to speak, when I saw Xia Qiang suddenly shove the watch into his mouth. He deliberately tore the corner of his mouth, creating a bloody gash. Fresh blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. Xia Qiang staggered a step and fell to the ground. The watch also fell to the ground. He looked up, the corners of his eyes slightly red. Brother-in-law, I just thought the watch Uncle Lin gave you was beautiful. It hurts so much. Before I could even react, a black figure flashed past. I was pushed hard. There was water on the floor. I slipped and fell, crashing into the adjacent table holding a giant celebration cake. The wound on my head tore open again. The cake slid down onto me, sticky and messy. I was in so much pain the corners of my eyes turned red. I looked up at Lin Kaiwei rushing over. She didn't spare me a single glance but worriedly took a handkerchief to wipe the blood from the corner of Xia Qiang's mouth. Her glistening eyes clearly showed her heartache. I finally understood what act Xia Qiang was putting on. I wiped the sticky cream off my face and picked up the men's watch from the floor, handing it to Xia Qiang. Just as Lin Kaiwei thought I was going to provoke Xia Qiang, I grabbed Xia Qiang's wrist and put the watch on his hand. Uncle Lin gave it to me. You like it a lot, don't you? Then it's yours. Xia Qiang's head snapped up, forgetting to even pretend to be pitiful. Lin Kaiwei frowned, not understanding what I intended to do. This was a birthday gift from my father to you. Only the future son-in-law of the Lin family is allowed to wear it. I stood up and said coldly, he's touched it. It's dirty now. I don't want it anymore. After saying that, I turned and limped out. Late at night, Lin Kaiwei finally came back. She showered and then got into bed, looked at my back turned to her, and sighed. Don't be angry, and don't keep targeting Xia Qiang. He respects and also treasures a brother-in-law like you. Xia Qiang said, he wants to take the initiative to make peace with you. He'll be staying at our house for the next few days. Don't target him anymore for now. I closed my eyes and didn't answer her. I just said calmly, if, and I'm saying if, Xia Qiang isn't would you still treat him so well? Lin Kaiwei took my hand, her voice gentle. He is my brother. I treat him well, because he is Xia Qiang. I lowered my eyes and replied faintly, it has nothing to do with whether he is Wu Ju or not. I lowered my eyes, replying faintly, anyway, it's only the last day. I just need to stay here for one more day. Early the next morning, as soon as I woke up, I heard sweet laughter from the second floor. I got up and went out. From a distance, I saw the main hall on the second floor. Lin Kaiwei was teaching Xia Qiang flower arrangement. The two of them stood very close together. Lin Kaiwei gently showed Xia Qiang how to trim different flower stems. Looking at the warm scene between them, I was a little dazed. When Lin Kaiwei was disabled, I was worried she'd be bored, so I coaxed her by teaching her flower arrangement. The woman has a very good memory. I only taught her once, and she learned it. After that, Lin Kaiwei had her assistant order flowers, and the first thing she did every day upon waking was to arrange a bouquet and place it by my bedside. But since Xia Qiang returned, she seems to have never done that again. My dark eyes lowered slightly, hiding the jealousy within them. I walked slowly downstairs, preparing to have breakfast. But I had only taken a few steps when a heavy vase was thrown, knocking me to the ground. With a thud, I felt like my skull cracked instantly. A stream of fresh blood flowed down from my head. The pain was so intense that I curled up on the ground. In a daze, I saw Xia Qiang calmly walking down from the second floor, a bright smile on his face. Brother-in-law, I just wanted to show you the vase of flowers I just arranged. My hand slipped and it accidentally fell on your head. What do I do now? You look so scary. How about I call an ambulance for you? But I'm too nervous to hold my phone. You don't blame me, do you? Brother-in-law, just hang in there a little longer. Before he finished, I fainted from the pain. Afterward, a maid who saw it was startled and rushed me to the hospital. When I woke up again, it was noon. My head had been stitched up with 30 stitches. It looked very frightening. The doctor said I had a mild concussion, accompanied by temporary blindness in my right eye. Lin Kaiwei stood by the hospital bed, leaning over to ask if I was in pain, and heartbreakingly helped me up to drink some water. In terms of actions, she was taking care of me, but her words were all in defense of Xia Qiang. Xia Qiang knows he was wrong. He blames himself a lot too. He was so guilty just now he almost fainted. When the maid took you to the hospital, a paparazzi took a picture. Now everyone is waiting for you to issue a clarification, Hao Yuan. At that time, just tell the public that you were careless and fell, injuring your head. That way the Xia family will also owe you a favor. You know, Xia Qiang is Wu Ju. He saved my life before. I turned my back, pulled the blanket over my head. I don't know if it was physical pain or heartache, but I curled up under the blanket, the rims of my eyes red. I remembered when my health was poor before. There was a time I always had a low-grade fever. Lin Kaiwei had hired 3 private doctors to take turns watching over me 24 hours a day. I ate chili peppers, had a terrible stomachache. Lin Kaiwei would coax me all day, bringing her work home to be with me. Now the person before me was not the same person from the past. Lin Kaiwei noticed that I, in the hospital bed, seemed to be crying. Her heart ached. Just as she was about to comfort me, a nurse hurriedly came in. Xiao Lin, the man who came with you this morning suddenly fainted. Do you want to go check on him? Hearing that Xia Qiang had suddenly fainted, Lin Kaiwei no longer paid any attention to me. She turned and walked out into the hallway. Very quickly, the hospital room became quiet again, leaving me all alone. 10 minutes later, my phone vibrated. It was a text message from Xia Qiang. Even if you have 30 stitches on your head, so what if your right eye goes blind? I don't have to say a word, and she immediately comes running to find me. Hao Yuan, you disappeared for several years, came back and said one thing, that you wanted a child, and just like that, she got pregnant. Tell me, how could she not be in love with me? Not long after, I received another video from Xia Qiang. Lin Kaiwei was comforting Xia Qiang in his hospital bed, her eyes red with heartache. Don't blame yourself. I told you I would always protect you. Hao Yuan only hurt his head. It's not a big deal. He won't tell anyone that you were the one who injured him. You haven't been in a good mood lately. Don't worry about these trivial things. After watching the video, my fingers dug into my palms. I forced myself to get up and left the hospital alone. Only 6 hours left until my departure. I went to Lingquan Temple and cut down the prayer note I had written with my own hands, wishing to marry Lin Kaiwei. A cold wind blew through the temple from all directions. 2 prayer notes written by Lin Kaiwei that year flew into my hands. I picked them up and glanced at them. The first prayer note, marry me and make me your bride in 5 years. The second prayer note, as long as you come back, no matter when, I will always choose you. I looked at the prayer notes and let out a few cold laughs. Congratulations, Lin Kaiwei. You've gotten your wish. I quickly returned to the villa. My phone wouldn't stop vibrating. It was a provocative text from Xia Qiang. I only glanced at it, then sat down at the desk and slowly wrote a suicide note. I also left a photo of Wu Ju. Right after, I carried my suitcase downstairs. I placed the engagement ring that Lin Kaiwei had given me when she proposed at the hospital into a gray velvet gift box and gave it to the butler. When Lin Kaiwei gets back, please help me give this to her. Also tell her there's a letter for her on the desk. The butler saw me taking off the engagement ring. He vaguely guessed what was happening and said in surprise, Young master, you. Thank you for taking care of me all these years, Uncle Chen. If fate allows, we'll meet again. I waved my hand, dragged my suitcase, and hailed a taxi to the airport. An hour later, at the main gate of the airport. Hao Yuan, if you're leaving, don't come back. Live well abroad for the rest of your life. Never get entangled with Lin Kaiwei, that scumbag. Lao Yang couldn't bear to part with me. With red eyes, I hugged Lao Yang. I looked at the city of Lincheng and lifted my chin slightly. Goodbye, Lincheng. Goodbye forever, Lin Kaiwei. The entire next day, Lin Kaiwei stayed in Xia Qiang's hospital room, coaxing him to get checked, coaxing him to eat. Even though my hospital room was just 1 floor below, she didn't visit even once. That night, Xia Qiang's test results came back, showing no injuries at all. Lin Kaiwei breathed a sigh of relief and took him back to the villa. She patiently coaxed him to sleep. The butler saw her finally come downstairs, held the gray gift box, and hesitantly handed it over. The young master came back yesterday. He told me to give this to you. Lin Kaiwei took the gray gift box, her expression unpleasant. He's been discharged? Didn't I tell him to rest at the hospital? What's he doing back home? Is he going to cause trouble again? I already told him, Xia Qiang and I are innocent. I only see him as a brother. The gray gift box was opened, revealing the engagement ring. She was slightly stunned. The butler standing by gently reminded her. The young master also said he left a letter for you in the study on the 2nd floor. An indescribable sense of unease rose in Lin Kaiwei's heart. She went upstairs, heading towards the study. Sure enough, there was a letter on the desk. When the 3-word suicide note caught her eye, she had a bad premonition. Lin Kaiwei read every single word, and her mind went blank with a loud bang. An unprecedented panic surged within her. It's over. The conversation between Lin Ruyu and her at the hospital that day, I heard all of it. The elaborately woven lie had been exposed. Lin Kaiwei frantically wanted to call me, when her eyes suddenly glanced at a photo on the table. A young, handsome man in a red racing suit sat casually in a race car. I had taken off my mask, my right hand making a V sign, smiling freely at the camera. Wait, the face of Wu Ju. So Hao Yuan was the one who saved her life on the racetrack, the Wu Ju she had always wanted to repay? Impossible. Trembling, Lin Kaiwei dialed my phone number. A cold voice soon came from the receiver. The number you have dialed has been disconnected. She didn't give up and sent me a message on WeChat. My WeChat account also showed that it had been deleted. She tried every way to contact me, but in the end, nothing worked. Lin Kaiwei had no choice but to call my buddy, Liao Yang. After being hung up on 3 times in a row, the call finally went through. On the other end, Liao Yang was sitting in his living room watching TV. Having been disturbed multiple times, his tone was extremely annoyed. Does CEO Lin need something? Lin Kaiwei ignored his sarcastic tone and directly asked if Hao Yuan was Wu Ju. Lao Yang let out a cold laugh, mocking her. Lin Kaiwei, are you only just now finding out that Hao Yuan is Wu Ju? Lin Kaiwei frowned. He never told me any of this. Lao Yang was so angry he almost laughed. For all these years, all your attention has been on Xia Qiang. When have you ever truly cared about Hao Yuan? Lin Kaiwei looked at the disconnected call on her phone, her shimmering eyes filled with panic. 12 years ago, Xia Qiang had taken the initiative to confess to her, claiming to be the Wu Ju she was looking for. When Xia Qiang recounted the details of saving her on the racetrack that day, combined with the fact that they knew each other since childhood, she naturally believed him. As for, since she met me, although she knew I liked sports cars, she never really noticed that I was into racing. Thinking back, she was disabled for 5 years. The day the doctor declared her legs fully recovered, she slowly stood up and hugged me, saying affectionately, Hao Yuan, thank you for saving my life. At that moment, I smiled gently at her. Counting this time, I've saved your life twice now. At the time, she wanted to ask for more details, but a call from Xia Qiang interrupted her thoughts. The moment Lin Kaiwei thought about being deceived for 12 whole years, she was so furious, she saw stars. She strode towards the guest bedroom next door, and woke the soundly sleeping Xia Qiang. In front of Xia Qiang's sleepy eyes, Lin Kaiwei threw the photo of Wu Ju in his face, saying angrily, Xia Qiang, how dare you lie to me again? Xia Qiang, who was still drowsy a second ago, looked at the furious Lin Kaiwei before him, vaguely guessing what had happened, and frantically picked up the photos scattered on the bed. With one look, after the initial panic, deep jealousy arose in his dark eyes. Impossible. How could a man like Hao Yuan be the great Wu Ju? Although Wu Ju was only 16 at the time, in the Lincheng racing circle, he was already a top-tier godlike figure. Lin Kaiwei moved closer to Xia Qiang, her shimmering eyes burning with a raging fire. I've already confirmed it. Hao Yuan is Wu Ju. Wu Ju is Hao Yuan. Xia Qiang, you've made my life a living hell with your lies. That day on the track, Wu Ju was competing in the same group as her. Her race car was sabotaged by a business rival and suddenly caught fire. Wu Ju, who was about to win first place, gave up the million-yuan prize, turned his car around, and risked his life to save her. After Wu Ju rescued her, he arrogantly tilted his chin at her. I've saved you, remember to repay me. This promise of repayment, she had remembered it for 12 years, but who would have thought she'd repay? The wrong person. At this thought, Lin Kaiwei coldly pushed Xia Qiang away and ordered him out in a cold voice. Xia Qiang, move back to the Xia family home right now. Lin Kaiwei ignored Xia Qiang's pleas and told the butler to throw him out. Immediately after, with a dark expression, she called her assistant. Her tone was ice cold. Investigate Xia Qiang's kidnapping and that party. The plane landed at an airport in Country A. I took out a hat and put it on to cover the medical gauze on my head. At the exit gate, my parents were already waiting. Next to them was an unfamiliar woman in a light blue dress with strikingly beautiful features. It's been a while. My mother's kind face was filled with unconcealable joy. Come here, Hao Yuan, let me introduce you. This is Shen Qingqiao. I carefully observed my fiancé. The girl had fair skin, the warm light shone on her, highlighting her delicate features. Her pink lips were pressed together, with a faint smile at the corners of her mouth, but it gave off an inexplicably distant feeling. Hello, Hao Yuan, I said softly. Shen Qingqiao. Her shimmering eyes narrowed slightly. She looked me up and down, her gaze stopping on the hat on my head. It took a moment before she spoke. Shen Qingqiao, your fiancé. An hour later, the black car slowly drove to the gate of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Father Shen and Mother Shen were already waiting at the gate. When Mother Shen saw me, the smile on her face was unconcealable. The future son-in-law her daughter had chosen was tall, handsome, and robust, with an exceptional aura and excellent manners. You could tell he was well raised from a young age. The more Mother Shen looked, the more pleased she was. So, she said generously, I've already told the secretary to transfer some of the Shen family's shares to your name. Hao Yuan, this is a meeting gift from Qingqiao's father and me. When Mother Shen said these words, her tone was very calm as if she were saying, I've transferred 10,000 yuan to you. But I knew very well the value of the Shen family's shares. The Shen family was currently developing at a rapid pace, one of the leaders in the business world. I was just about to refuse when Shen Qingqiao parted her pink lips slightly and said softly, It's a kind gesture from our parents. Please accept it. Thank you, Auntie and Uncle. My eyes reddened slightly, feeling a bit moved. Receiving such a huge gift on our first meeting was enough to show how much the Shen family valued me. I remembered that year Father Lin also gave me a men's watch, but I knew very well it was in exchange for the 5 years I spent taking care of the disabled Lin Kaiwei. In recent years, the Hao family has gradually declined. The Lin parents always felt I wasn't quite worthy. They had said it bluntly behind my back, hoping Lin Kaiwei would marry the eldest son of the Shi family to solidify their position. Let's go, register our marriage, Shen Qingqiao reminded me. Okay, I followed Shen Qingqiao into the Civil Affairs Bureau to register. More than 10 minutes later, it was all done. I looked down at the marriage certificate in my hand, lost in a daze for a few seconds. Shen Qingqiao said beside me, I've bought a villa in the city center to be our marital home. Address and door code for the villa, I've just sent them to you. This villa is part of the dowry. The deed is only in your name. You just got back, so stay at your parents' house for these 3 days. As for the wedding, it will be in 2 weeks. We'll discuss the decorations later. At the same time, in Lin Cheng, the assistant at the Lin Group's office held an invitation card and placed it in front of Lin Kaiwei. CO Lin, Mr. CS case is still under investigation. This is the wedding invitation the Shen family just sent over. The Shen family? Lin Kaiwei frowned. The Shen family rarely sent them invitations. She picked up the invitation and opened it, glancing at the bride, Shen Qingqiao, and the groom, Hao Yuan. Lin Kaiwei looked at the groom's name, and her heart panicked slightly. Just then, I lowered my head and opened my phone. Shen Qingqiao had indeed sent the villa's address and door code. She was much more thoughtful than I had imagined, even considering that I should stay at my parents' house first. I looked at the gentle woman before me, and for the first time, felt that this impulsive marriage might not be a bad choice. The two families had lunch together. The atmosphere was very harmonious. They didn't part ways until the afternoon. In the evening, my parents cooked a full table of food together. It had been a long time since the three of us were reunited as a family. Dad was very happy tonight. He drank quite a bit of wine and talked more as well. Speaking of which, our family and the Xin family are quite faded. We weren't very close with the Xin family at first. They've been secretly helping us a lot these past few years. If the Shen family hadn't stepped in to help, our Hao family would have collapsed long ago. I was a little surprised. The Shen family has been helping us all these years? 3 days passed quickly. On the 4th afternoon, Shen Qingqiao came to pick me up. I couldn't bear to part with my parents. Mom looked at Shen Qingqiao not far away. She patted my shoulder and whispered, I can see that Qingqiao really likes you. You two should take your time to get to know each other. I lowered my eyes to look at Shen Qingqiao standing by the car. The girl's expression was very calm. Why do I feel like Shen Qingqiao doesn't really like me that much? The car was quiet the whole way. Neither of us said anything. It wasn't until the car stopped in front of the hospital that I tilted my head and asked in confusion, Are you sick? Shen Qingqiao's gaze landed on the large hat I was wearing. Aren't you injured? After taking you to the hospital for a checkup, well, go home. I was stunned for a moment, a warmth spreading in my heart, along with a bit of curiosity. How did you know my head was injured? I've hidden it so well these past 3 days. Even my parents didn't notice the wound on my head. Shen Qingqiao tilted her head, her shimmering eyes looking at my handsome face. Just a guess. The day I came to pick you up, you were dressed very stylishly and handsomely. Your whole outfit was coordinated in shades of gray. You're clearly a man with excellent taste. It's just that this hat is a bit big. It can cover the entire top of your head, but it clearly doesn't match the outfit you're wearing. Then, when you got in the car, your head bumped lightly against the car door. Normally, a light bump wouldn't hurt much, but I noticed you sucked in a breath of cold air, as if it was unbearable. My dark eyes widened in slight disbelief. Shen Qingqiao, you really pay attention to details. The top floor of the private hospital. Doctor, he had been waiting for me for a while. Curiously looking at the person following behind Shen Qingqiao, and couldn't help but complain, you made me wait for you at the hospital since early morning, and you're only just arriving. Wait, could this be the person you've been thinking about day and night? Shen Qingqiao frowned and cut him off. My husband, Hao Yuan. Doctor, he understood immediately and shut up. He gave me a full-body checkup. Under Shen Qingqiao's instructions, doctor, he changed the dressing on my head. His movements couldn't have been gentler. An hour later, the test results were finally out. Doctor, he analyzed them for a long time. Then he called Shen Qingqiao out to the hallway, his expression grave. Qingqiao, your husband, Hao Yuan, not only has a head injury, but his eye is also temporarily blind. Fortunately, the vision in his right eye is gradually recovering. But from my observation, the wound on his head doesn't look like it was caused by a single impact, but rather a wound formed from multiple intentional injuries. I had friends inquire at the hospital in Lincheng and obtained his recent medical records and found some irregularities. If Hao Yuan was hospitalized for a stomach infection at that time, then these types of medications shouldn't have been used. Based on my many years of medical experience, I suspect he was tricked into donating bone marrow. A surge of anger erupted from her chest. Shen Qingqiao picked up her phone and ordered in a low voice, investigate what I have been through in Lincheng recently. Early the next morning, Shen Qingqiao received a call from her assistant. CO Shen, everything that the young master encountered in Lincheng has been compiled into a document and sent to you. In the study, Shen Qingqiao looked at the document, her small face icy cold. The Shen family and the Lin family have been enemies for generations, the grudges and feuds of the elders. She, being from the younger generation, never got involved. But now that they've hurt me, it's a different matter. The Lin family recently wanted that shipment at the dock, outbid them, and take it. On the other end, the assistant was silent for a few seconds, then asked, Xiao Shen, do you mean you want to go head-to-head with the Lin family? Lin Cheng. Xia Qiang was forced to move back to the Xia family home. He messaged Lin Kaiwei many times, miserably begging for her forgiveness, but Lin Kaiwei never once replied to him. Xia Qiang didn't give up. He went to the bar Lin Kaiwei frequented, after dressing up carefully, sat down next to her, and hugged her. Kaiwei, I miss you. Lin Kaiwei turned her head, saw Xia Qiang's face clearly, and pushed him off her with utter disgust. Stay away from me. Lin Kaiwei's strength was immense. She used almost all of it. Xia Qiang lost his balance for a moment and fell hard to the ground. He tried to grab the table for support, but accidentally knocked over the wine bottle on it. A loud crash echoed, unusually jarring. The people around were all from the same social circle. Some whom he had looked down on before laughed mockingly. When had Xia Qiang ever suffered such humiliation? After standing up with red eyes, he turned and left, unwilling to accept defeat. Early the next morning, Lin Kaiwei read the assistant's investigation report over and over, her small face extremely gloomy and furious enough to see stars. Not only was Xia Qiang not Wuju, he was also vicious and cruel. After receiving my marrow, not only was he ungrateful, he also repeatedly framed and harmed me. She couldn't imagine what I had been through during this time. If it were her, she probably would have gone crazy long ago. Lin Kaiwei's shimmering eyes. The cold, dangerous aura emanating from her was palpable. After who knows how long, she finally calmed down and slowly picked up the phone on the table. She opened the chat with Xia Qiang and coldly tapped the screen. I'm at the villa. Come over now. Xia Qiang replied almost instantly, his tone revealing his excitement. Kaiwei, have you forgiven me? Wait for me, I'm on my way. Lin Kaiwei didn't look at her phone anymore. She told the maid to fill the swimming pool and then dump buckets of ice into it. Half an hour later, he walked into the villa with a smug look on his face. He had clearly dressed very carefully, wearing a well-fitting white shirt and even deliberately put on a clean layer of foundation. He knew very well that dressing like this would be a fatal blow when standing in front of Lin Kaiwei. Just as he was about to walk up to Lin Kaiwei's fair fingers were caressing a glass of red wine. She slightly tilted her chin. The two bodyguards beside her stepped in front of him, one on the left and one on the right. They pressed down on his shoulders. Mr. Xia, Director Lin told us to take you to the poolside. His shoulders were pressed down so hard it was excruciating. He had never been treated like this by Lin Kaiwei's people. He shouted coldly, Let go of me. What are you trying to do? I am your Director Lin's future husband. The two bodyguards were expressionless. They brought him to the poolside and mercilessly pushed his head into the water. The ice-cold pool water rushed into his nose. It was so cold that his whole body trembled. He swallowed 3 mouthfuls of pool water, but his mind became clearer. Kaiwei, didn't you call me here because you weren't angry anymore? I told you last time, actually. I wanted to explain to you as soon as I returned. I'm not Wuju, but Hao Yuan has been targeting me lately. I was so angry that I forgot to tell you. You've seen all of this? My kidnapping last time was all Hao Yuan's doing, and also that day at the gathering. The corner of my mouth was torn. His voice trembled slightly. The corners of his eyes were red. Lin Kaiwei expressionlessly put her wine glass on the table and paced back and forth. She walked up to him and slightly raised her hand. The bodyguards immediately understood and pulled him to his feet. He looked up pitifully, just as he was rejoicing, thinking Lin Kaiwei had softened. Lin Kaiwei let out a cold laugh and raised her high heel to step on his head. Even at a time like this, you still want to slander Hao Yuan, Xia Qiang? I know everything you've done. The woman's voice was extremely cold. Every word danced on his heart. He trembled all over. Fear instantly enveloped his entire body, so much so that he forgot to struggle. Impossible. How could Lin Kaiwei know about the wrong things he had done? So what if she knows? She's carrying my child in her belly. I'm the father of the baby in her womb. At most, Lin Kaiwei will only punish him a little. She won't really do anything to him. Thinking of this, he immediately regained his courage. When Lin Kaiwei retracted her foot, he hugged Lin Kaiwei's leg, his voice choked with emotion. Kaiwei, it's all because I love you too much. It's all because I love you. I wanted a good future with you. That's why I did those things. Lin Kaiwei raised her foot again, using the tip of her shoe to lift his chin. Her icy eyes were full of disgust. You shouldn't have. You absolutely shouldn't have. After receiving Hao Yuan's bone marrow gone and provoked and hurt him, Xia Qiang, someone as evil to the core as you. I feel disgusted even looking at you. She paused for a moment. Lin Kaiwei kicked his face with the tip of her shoe. Her small face was full of coldness. Don't you like making people pick things up? You still haven't picked up the ring you threw last time? Now you go pick it up. He looked at Lin Kaiwei in astonishment. Water from his hair dripped down his face to the ground. He looked extremely pathetic at this moment. Kaiwei, I've been by your side for over 10 years. Don't you have any regard for our past? Lin Kaiwei almost laughed out of anger. Her tone was extremely cold. Our past? If you hadn't impersonated Hao Yuan at the beginning, do you think I would have given you a second glance? Xia Qiang, you have ruined my life, ruined the impression in my heart. Do you think I'll forgive you easily? What are you standing there for? Do it. The two bodyguards lifted him and threw him into the pool. He knew how to swim, but the pool water was too cold. Before long, he was shivering from the cold. His whole body was trembling. He gritted his teeth and swam to the edge. As soon as his hand touched the edge of the pool, Lin Kaiwei raised her foot and stomped right on his fingers. He was in so much pain, his face turned pale, screaming and begging for forgiveness. Finally unable to bear the pain, he fell back into the pool. Very quickly, he completely passed out. Lin Kaiwei's eyes narrowed. The resentment in her heart dissipated a little. Hao Yuan, do you see? I've avenged you. Please come back soon. Half an hour later, he was taken to the hospital by the bodyguards. At the same time, Lin Kaiwei arranged for a doctor. No matter what, the baby in her womb must be aborted today. The anesthetic took effect in her body. Lin Kaiwei quickly lost consciousness. Half an hour later, he learned that Lin Kaiwei had an abortion. His last trump card was gone. He went crazy, smashing things in the hospital room. Pillows, cups, shoes. The nurse couldn't stop him, so she had to call Lin Kaiwei, who had just had the abortion. Miss Lin, if you don't come, the hospital room is about to be destroyed. He originally thought Lin Kaiwei wouldn't come, but unexpectedly, she quickly appeared in the hospital room. She suppressed her pain, looking at the messy hospital room and his pale face. She said coldly, I still have 2 scores to settle with you. I originally planned to wait until you recovered to settle them slowly, but now it seems you're quite fit. Lin Kaiwei's voice was calm, but fear appeared in his eyes. He looked fearfully at the cold woman before him, no longer having the crazed look from 10 minutes ago. I haven't recovered yet. Lin Kaiwei leisurely walked to the hospital bed and lifted his chin. She said in a low voice, at the party last time, didn't you intentionally tear the corner of your own mouth to frame Hao Yuan and stuff a man's watch into your mouth? Oh right, you also smashed a vase on his head. After Lin Kaiwei finished speaking, she clapped her hands lightly. 2 bodyguards carried in a large box. After opening it, inside were 10 vases and more than half a box of men's watches. He guessed his predicament. His face turned pale. His whole body trembled. The next second, he crawled out of the hospital bed and knelt before Lin Kaiwei, kowtowing relentlessly. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I will publicly apologize to Hao Yuan. Can I kneel and apologize to him? Kaiwei, considering our decade-long relationship, please spare me. Spare you. Lin Kaiwei looked down at him. Her eyes were terrifyingly cold. Xia Qiang's verbal apology is not enough. You must experience everything Hao Yuan went through. Only then will you be qualified to beg for his forgiveness. After Lin Kaiwei finished speaking, she looked towards the 2 bodyguards beside her. One bodyguard quickly tied his hands. The other bodyguard grabbed a bunch of men's watches and stuffed them straight into his mouth. He struggled desperately, but the bodyguard continued to stuff them into his mouth. Until 2 minutes later, both corners of his mouth were completely torn. He was in so much pain his eyes were bloodshot. If it were before, if he was even slightly uncomfortable, Lin Kaiwei would have been heartbroken. Now she sat on the sofa, watching him coldly. Now that you've paid for your crime, let's settle the next score. It's time to throw the vases, worried the height wasn't enough. Lin Kaiwei told the bodyguards to take him back to the villa. That box of vases was brought to the 2nd floor of the villa. He was alone in the 1st floor hall. A bodyguard picked up a vase and threw it down hard. It quickly fell on his head. Crash. A painful scream echoed throughout the villa. The bodyguard remained expressionless and threw down the vases one after another. He screamed until his voice was hoarse. Lin Kaiwei didn't even spare him a glance. In the end, all 10 vases were smashed on his head. He completely lost consciousness. Lin Kaiwei slowly raised her head. Her eyes were cold. Take him back to the Xia family. As soon as he was taken away, Lin Ruyu arrived at the villa right after. He looked at Lin Kaiwei's small, cold face on the sofa. His expression wasn't good. There's bad news. You have to be mentally prepared. Hao Yuan probably won't be coming back. I heard news that he's getting into an arranged marriage. The man that the Xin family's eldest daughter, Shen Qingqiao, is marrying is Hao Yuan, your ex-boyfriend Hao Yuan. Lin Kaiwei. Her eyes cold, she said angrily. Impossible. Seeing that Lin Kaiwei didn't believe him, Lin Ruyu took out a photo. This was taken by the paparazzi. In the photo, Shen Qingqiao and Hao Yuan were having lunch together. Shen Qingqiao was thoughtfully holding a napkin, gently wiping the grease from Hao Yuan's face. He's over there, right? I'll book a flight to find him right now. Lin Ruyu quickly pulled her back, reminding her, lately, you've been solely focused on finding Hao Yuan. Have you been neglecting the business? The Shen family paid a high price to snatch our shipment at the docks. They're probably warning you, Lin Kaiwei. Have you thought it through? Are you sure you want to declare war on the Shen family for Hao Yuan? Lin Kaiwei lowered her head slightly. Her small face was full of pain. After a long while, she spoke hoarsely. Brother, without him, he'll go crazy. Lin Ruyu sighed. He didn't try to persuade her anymore. At the same time, I began to take over the Hao family business. The first few days after taking over, I left early and came home late. I was swamped with work. Fortunately, I have a sharp mind and Shen Qingqiao's guidance. I quickly got the hang of it. When I was sorting through the Hao family's business dealings, I discovered that several projects that brought down the Hao family were all related to the Line family's subsidiary companies. I was analyzing them one by one when Shen Qingqiao walked into the office with a lunchbox. Seeing my pale face, Shen Qingqiao frowned and asked with concern, "What's wrong? You look terrible." I pointed to the contracts on the table. I don't understand why Lin Kaiwei's uncles and some of her relatives would want to harm our Hao family. Shen Qingqiao picked up the contracts. After looking at them, her expression cleared up a bit. The Line family has always been prone to internal strife. They probably resorted to this because they thought you would marry Lin Kaiwei. To bring down the Hale family, she paused for a moment, then she spoke again. Logically speaking, the Hale family hasn't been doing well these past few years. Lin Kaiwei must have known about it, but she didn't seem to care about the Hale family. I laughed self-deprecatingly. For the past few years, all of Lin Kaiwei's attention was on him. After he went abroad, she even sent him money on time. How could she have the mind to care about the Hale family's affairs? But this also shows that my parents' decisions were not the problem. Shen Qingqiao spent the whole afternoon analyzing with me the Hale family's investment data from recent years. After completely clarifying it, I breathed a sigh of relief. Let's take wedding photos tomorrow afternoon, Shen Qingqiao suggested. Let's go the day after tomorrow. I have an appointment to discuss a partnership tomorrow. Okay. These past few days, she and I have been living together very happily. This girl's ache is extremely high. The affection for me in her eyes is not hidden at all. This comfortable feeling is so much better than the one-sided giving I did with Lin Kaiwei. At the same time, Lin Kaiwei arrived in the city where I was staying. As soon as she got off the plane, she sent people to investigate my situation. In the evening, Lin Kaiwei looked at the documents in her hand. Her small face was extremely gloomy. The documents showed that Shen Qingqiao and I were living together. The two of us were almost inseparable. Lin Kaiwei read the documents several times and suddenly threw them on the table. Luckily, it doesn't mention that they've registered their marriage. I still have a chance. Immediately, Lin Kaiwei found the CEO of the U Corporation and reached an agreement with him. CEO Yu will go to the Heo Corporation tomorrow to discuss a partnership, and he will bring her along. In the future, the development of the U Corporation in the country, she will back the U Corporation. Early the next morning, Lin Kaiwei changed into a beautiful gray suit dress and meticulously put on makeup. She looked in the mirror several times. Only after confirming there were no issues did she go out. The Heo Corporation. After I finished my morning meeting, the secretary reminded me, CEO Heo, CEO Yu scheduled a meeting for 10 o'clock. He is currently waiting for you in the small conference room. Okay? I took a sip of black coffee and walked towards the small conference room with the documents from the table. In the conference room, Lin Kaiwei sat there nervously. She was looking at a picture of me on her phone screen. Her eyes were full of nostalgia. Soon, footsteps sounded outside the door. The conference room door was slowly pushed open. Lin Kaiwei felt as if the world went silent, eagerly looking at the man before her. I was wearing a black business suit. The hairstyle I had in mind complemented my handsome face, making me even more good-looking. I even had a smile on my face. Hao Yuan. Lin Kaiwei's voice trembled. She hugged me tightly. A faint scent of perfume hit my nose. I was about to push her away, when Shen Qingqiao, who had brought fruit, pulled me away first. The next second, Shen Qingqiao pulled me behind her, looking at Lin Kaiwei. Her sharp eyes flashed with a cold light. The cold aura emanating from her was extremely dangerous. Lin Kaiwei, you've done so many things to hurt Hao Yuan. How can you have the audacity to appear before him? Lin Kaiwei was stunned for a few seconds. She was about to explain when I said coldly, wait, Qingqiao, let me clean up first. This is the Hao Corporation. I don't want to make a scene about personal matters for everyone to see. After speaking, I looked at the silent CEO of the U Corporation. Coldly, CEO Yu. From now on, the Heo family and the Yu family will no longer have any business dealings. Please see yourself out. Shen Qingqiao? Her small face was cold. The Shen family will withdraw its partnership with the Yu family. See yourself out. CEO Yu's face turned pale. The secretary made a gesture to invite him out. Very quickly, only I was left in the office, Shen Qingqiao and Lin Kaiwei. Lin Kaiwei looked at me sitting closely beside Shen Qingqiao. Her gaze fell on my handsome, cold face. Her heart felt like it was being squeezed by a hand. The pain was intense. Before, I always looked at her gently, my eyes filled with love. Lin Kaiwei thought for a long time before finally saying one sentence. Hao Yuan, I aborted the baby. I also taught him a lesson. Can you come back? Shen Qingqiao scoffed. The people of the Lin family are truly all shameless, and Lin Kaiwei is shameless enough to beg to get back together. I looked at Lin Kaiwei coldly and said indifferently, we're over. That suicide note? I'm sure you've seen it? Lin Kaiwei, with red eyes, asked unwillingly, do you not have any love left for me now? None. I looked at her expressionlessly and answered very calmly. From the moment I knew you hid it from me and gave my bone marrow to him, I didn't want to love you anymore. The following 7 days were my desensitization period. The moment I wrote that suicide note, never wanted to see you again. Thinking back, Lin Kaiwei was the first woman I loved with all my heart. Influenced by my parents' love, I, with my simple thoughts, always subconsciously felt that if I treated the other person with sincerity, they would be sincere with me in return. If I said I never loved Lin Kaiwei, that would definitely be a lie. After all those 5 difficult years of disability, I was by Lin Kaiwei's side, getting through it with her. But just as I wanted to enter into marriage with Lin Kaiwei hurt me time and time again for his sake. The things that happened during this time, no one could accept it. Now I'm even a little disgusted by her. I clearly didn't say any harsh words, but Lin Kaiwei's face turned pale. Lin Kaiwei, no matter how you beg me now, I won't turn back. We've missed our chance. From now on, let's be strangers. After I finished, I didn't look at Lin Kaiwei's expression. I took Shen Qingqiao's hand and left the conference room. Lin Kaiwei watched my heartless retreating back, wanting to stand up and chase after me, but the secretary blocked the door first. Lin Kaiwei could only stand in place, watching helplessly as the two of us left for the day. Shen Qingqiao stayed in the office with me. When I got off work in the afternoon, Lin Kaiwei followed me relentlessly in her car. The whole time, I acted as if I didn't see her. In the evening, the butler came to Shen Qingqiao and me with a tablet. He said hesitantly, "Sir, madam, there's a woman kneeling at the gate of our villa. She's holding a folder. She won't leave no matter how we try to shoo her away." I glanced at the surveillance camera on the tablet. Lin Kaiwei was kneeling at the gate. In her left hand, she held a car purchase contract. In her right hand, she held a small sign. On it were written 18 characters. "I've ordered the 3 sports cars you like. Please forgive me." Even more exaggerated was that, behind her, 2 people were holding a banner. On the banner was a line of text. "Can you give me one more chance? I'm begging you, give me a chance to resurrect our past love." I frowned slightly. My heart was completely unmoved. Don't pay any attention to her. The next morning, the sky suddenly turned gloomy and it began to pour heavily. Lin Kaiwei was soaked to the bone, looking extremely pathetic, without a trace of her usual noble arrogance. After going outside, I quickly got into Shen Qingqiao's car. In front of the villa, Lin Kaiwei helplessly watched the Porsche drive away. Her eyes were full of loneliness. Before, if her mood dropped even a little, I would be worried sick. Now she's been kneeling in the rain all morning, and I didn't even spare her a glance. In just a short half-month, my attitude towards her had changed so much. The Heo Corporation. I finished my morning meeting as usual. The secretary walked in with a car purchase contract. A hint of annoyance appeared on my face. I thought it was Lin Kaiwei causing trouble again. The secretary smiled and placed the car purchase contract in front of me. "Co Hio, this was sent by Miss Shen." The phone suddenly vibrated. It was a message from my buddy, Lao Yang. "Hao Yuan, Shen Qingqiao is amazing. She even specifically called to ask me what kind of sports car you like." I just told her the ridiculously expensive Pagani, and as a result, she ordered it without batting an eye. She really cares about you. I took a picture of the car purchase contract, posted it on my Moments, with the caption, "It's good to add another car to the garage." In the afternoon, Shen Qingqiao took me to take wedding photos. Lin Kaiwei followed us into the bridal shop. Her eyes were red as she looked at me. "Hao Yuan, why won't you accept the car I bought, but you accept her car?" I looked at the somewhat aggrieved woman in front of me and sneered, because I said, "I don't want to see you again, so naturally, I don't want to accept your gifts, Lin Kaiwei. Didn't you always want to marry and have a child with him? Now I've made way for him. Shouldn't you have married him right away?" I also realized it too late. It turns out that while I was taking care of a disabled Lin Kaiwei, it was Lin Kaiwei who was still sending money to Xiaqiang abroad. Hearing about this deep affection even moves me. Lin Kaiwei's sparkling eyes dimmed, as if they had lost their light. She stepped forward, wanting to hug me. "Hao Yuan, it's all Xiaqiang's fault. He tricked me, saying he was Wu Ju. That's why I mistook him for you and treated him so well all these years. Now I know the truth. It turns out that whether it was in our youth or now, the one I've always loved is you. Can we get back together?" She paused for a moment, her voice carrying a hint of a sob. "Think about how happy we used to be." I was stunned for a few seconds, the days of the past flashing through my mind. At first, her parents looked down on me and didn't approve of me and Lin Kaiwei being together, hoping Lin Kaiwei would find a man of equal social standing, but I worked hard to get closer to the person I loved. In those days, I lived in fear, always worried that I wasn't treating Lin Kaiwei well enough, that I couldn't hold on to her heart. Worried she would rekindle her old flame with Xiaqiang, and also worried that the Lin family didn't like me. I took a step back, avoiding Lin Kaiwei's touch. My handsome face was cold. "Lin Kaiwei, whether Xiaqiang tricked you or not, your nature is not that of a faithful person. You were disabled for 5 years, and I took care of you for 5 years. For the past 5 years, even if I haven't earned merit, I've earned hardship. But after you recovered, Xiaqiang returned to the country because of his illness. You didn't discuss it with me, you hid it from me, and donated my bone marrow to Xiaqiang. Your actions are truly hateful. In fact, you are very cruel and very selfish. You completely disregarded my life as if it were nothing. You did these things behind my back and then proposed to me. It was just because you wanted to have 2 men at the same time. Tell me, a person like you, how could I dare to love you again?" Lin Kaiwei's lips trembled, but she couldn't say a word. Her shoulders slumped, looking extremely pathetic, just like someone who had been abandoned. I paid her no more mind and turned around to go inside with Shen Qingqiao for our wedding photos. In the evening, I received a video call from Lao Yang. Lao Yang pointed at the local news on his computer. "Hao Yuan, did you see this? The Xia family is in a huge scandal." In the video, the local news headline said the Xia family was facing bankruptcy. Lao Yang shook his head. "At the very least, they'll go to jail. Moreover, the Lin family has cut all business ties with the Xia family. The big companies that cooperated with the Xia family have also pulled their funding. Now the Xia family is just an empty shell. It's true that what goes around comes around. I don't feel any pity at all. Xiaqiang, the suffering he made me endure is far greater than the dead end he's at now. If I hadn't been lucky, I might have been bedridden in the hospital because of the marrow donation." Meanwhile, Lin Kaiwei still refused to give up. To win me back, she started a live stream account. She live streamed every day from 9 to 11 in the morning. The theme of the live stream was winning back my ex-boyfriend CEO Lin live streams to chase her husband. As soon as the live stream started, the number of viewers immediately shot up to 100,000. Some netizens who didn't know the story were curious about how the two broke up. To show her sincerity, Lin Kai-wei recounted in detail the reason I left. The netizens' reaction after learning the story was completely different from what Lin Kai-wei expected. Very few people offered her advice. Most were indignant on my behalf. Honestly, I support Hao Yuan in this. What Lin Kai-wei did, no one could stand it if it were them. I'm so angry. Why did I have to stumble upon this live stream this morning? You psycho? I suggest you two chain yourselves together or just go die. The comment section was filled with curses. Lin Kai-wei's face turned pale, trying to get through the 2-hour live stream. The next day, netizens were already waiting for Lin Kai-wei to go live. But unexpectedly, as soon as Lin Kai-wei went live, she said directly that for any netizen who could offer good advice for reconciliation, each piece of advice would be rewarded with 1 million. As soon as these words were spoken, the netizens who were initially skeptical, but thinking of how the Lin family had always been rich and wealthy, immediately changed their sarcastic tone from yesterday and started offering opinions. In my opinion, he has been deeply hurt by you. The only way is for you to go through what he went through so you can empathize. That's right. Just punishing Xia Qiang won't work. You were actually one of the accomplices. I think there must be a formal apology. Only then can it be considered a true apology. Lin Kai-wei carefully read the netizens' advice and chose 5 things that she felt were feasible. For the next half-month, Lin Kai-wei didn't live stream at all. Netizens initially thought her plea for reconciliation was just a whim, but half a month later, Lin Kai-wei went live again. Her appearance on the livestream camera startled the netizens. Her head was wrapped in bandages, her face was pale without a trace of color, as if she had just endured great torment. It turned out that during her half-month disappearance, she had experienced all the humiliations I had to endure. After going through these things, Lin Kai-wei was extremely remorseful. She looked at the camera, her eyes red-rimmed. I finally understand why Hao Yuan was so determined to leave me. I truly wronged him. Her actions earned some admiration even from the netizens who were initially displeased with her. The tone of the comment section also changed. After all, Lin Kai-wei is a powerful female CEO who dared to be cruel to herself to chase her husband. It seems she genuinely wants to get back together. As the saying goes, few wealthy men are not philanderers. Similarly, there are many wealthy women who are unfaithful. It's good that she knows to turn back. Hao Yuan should forgive her now. I don't agree. I have some gossip. Xia Qiang has done many dirty, evil things over the years, and it was always Lin Kai-wei cleaning up his messes. And during those years, Hao Yuan was taking care of a disabled Lin Kai-wei. In other words, Lin Kai-wei was two-timing from very early on. The last comment was quickly drowned in tens of thousands of comments. Some netizens started shipping me and Lin Kai-wei as a couple, even giving the couple the name destined in the name, Lin Kai-wei. Lin Kai-wei continued to livestream every day. The internet was flooded with clips of the sweet memories with me that she shared during her live streams. And I saw all of this. I didn't expect that Lin Kai-wei would think of using the power of public opinion to force me back. So I created a new social media account. That very day, I posted a public photo. It was my and Shen Qingqiao's marriage certificate with the caption, "Something to do, someone to love, something to look forward to." As soon as this marriage announcement photo was posted, it quickly shot to the top of the search rankings. Lin Kai-wei was still live streaming at that time. She saw the comment section being frantically spammed. Hao Yuan and Shen Qingqiao have publicly announced their marriage. No way. Isn't Shen Qingqiao the famous Ice Queen goddess? She's married? I went to check Shen Qingqiao's page. She announced it too. She said she's very happy to marry the person she's wanted to marry since she was a child. How romantic. Lin Kai-wei read the comments as if she'd been struck by lightning. Her mind went blank. A few seconds later, she tremblingly picked up her phone and clicked on the top search result. The moment she saw their marriage certificate, it was as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over her. Her whole body felt like it had fallen into an ice cellar. But she still didn't give up, looking at the live stream camera and insisting, "He was just being impulsive. I will wait for him to get a divorce." In the evening, these words reached Shen Qingqiao's ears. She knew that I had stopped loving Lin Kai-wei a long time ago, so she could let her cause a scene online. But Lin Kai-wei's words, "Wait for him to get a divorce." That very evening, Shen Qingqiao decided to declare war on the Lin family. The Shen family announced that any company that voluntarily cancels their contract with Lin Kai-wei could negotiate contract terms with the Shen family. Lin Kai-wei also began to compete secretly. In some deals against the Shen family, she frantically lowered the base price. Their actions immediately made people in the industry extremely curious. Many families began to gossip behind their backs. I heard it's because of a man. Now that the two big families are fighting, the small companies are benefiting. But the Shen family has always been gentle and courteous. This is the first time they've done something like this. Your man is about to be stolen. If it were you, wouldn't you be angry? The news of the two major families feuding loudly quickly reached Old Master Lin's ears. He angrily left the nursing home and chartered a private jet to fly straight to Lin Kai-wei. In the company office, Lin Kai-wei was on the phone, fighting with Shen Qingqiao for a company's contract. This company wasn't big, but the two of them kept competing secretly. Old Master Lin walked into the office, picked up his cane, and struck Lin Kai-wei with it. "You brat, causing such a mess over a man." The last bit of face left between the Shen family and the Lin family over the years has been completely destroyed by you. Old Master Lin was so angry his chest heaved, he almost couldn't breathe. His health hadn't been good since last year, and this year he had moved into a nursing home, gradually letting go of power, letting the younger generation below take over. Especially Lin Kai-wei, who was the granddaughter he doted on the most. He had very high expectations for her, and she held the most power. Over the years, even the achievements Lin Kai-wei made while she was disabled were something her peers couldn't reach in a lifetime. Yesterday, when he heard about what Lin Kai-wei had been doing recently, he almost fainted from anger. Lin Kai-wei lowered her head slightly, her sparkling eyes tinged with a touch of melancholy. Grandpa, I'm sorry, but I don't want to give up on Hao Yuan. Old Master Lin's cloudy eyes narrowed fiercely, and he struck Lin Kai-wei with his cane again. He was a man of few words, rarely giving a long speech. Neil, our Lin family and the Shin family have been rivals for 100 years due to reasons from our ancestors. That's right. But it was only that we didn't interact in business or personal matters. We never had an ugly and loud feud like this. Now you're bullying that boy Hao Yuan, letting everyone know about it. Where can I hide this old face of mine? These past few days, because of her fight with Shen Qingqiao, Lin Kai-wei slept no more than 2 hours a day. Being hit several times with the cane made her dizzy, and her limbs went weak. She almost fainted. Lin Kai-wei ignored the pain, walked in front of Old Master Lin and knelt, begging, Grandpa, can you help me ask Hao Yuan out? He's soft-hearted. If you ask him, he will definitely come. Old Master Lin looked at his always arrogant granddaughter, kneeling before him for the first time. A complex expression appeared in his cloudy eyes. If the condition for me to ask Hao Yuan out is to strip you of your position as the Lin family heir, would you be willing? Without a moment's hesitation, Lin Kai-wei nodded. I am willing. Old Master Lin took a deep breath and nodded under Lin Kai-wei's expectant gaze. All right. Lin Kai-wei immediately kowtowed 3 times. As soon as she stood up, perhaps due to the constant late nights and being hit, she fainted immediately. You must know that Lin Kai-wei's physical constitution was previously excellent. How could she faint after just a few hits with a cane? In the end, Old Master Lin still pitied her, waved his hand, signaling the butler to quickly take Lin Kai-wei to the hospital. After fainting, Lin Kai-wei fell into a dream. In the dream, she returned to 5 years ago, when I went with her to Lingquan Temple to pray. She hugged me as I was writing a prayer card and said worriedly, Hao Yuan, let's go register our marriage right now and have the wedding tomorrow, okay? I shook my head and pushed her away. I don't want to marry you. You will betray me. Now I have to pray that I never see you again in any lifetime. Lin Kai-wei's body trembled. She grabbed my hand, her eyes red as she pleaded. I won't betray you. I've changed. She wanted to reach out and hug me, but I took a few steps back, let out a cold laugh, and turned into a wisp of green smoke and disappeared. Lin Kai-wei cried out in pain. This was the first time she had felt such heart-wrenching pain. A long time later, she slowly opened her eyes. The smell of antiseptic filled her nostrils. Old Master Lin glanced at her, his voice hoarse. I've already called Hao Yuan. He said he can meet you, but he has to bring Shen Qingqiao along. He doesn't have time these next few days. It can only be 3 days from now. He's only free in the afternoon. The old master narrowed his cloudy eyes, his presence imposing without anger. Are you sure you want to go see him? If you agree, I will immediately announce to the public that your position as heir is revoked. Lin Kai-wei knew the consequences, but remained resolute. Grandpa, I want to see him. Without him, he'll die. That evening, Old Master Lin announced to the public that Lin Kai-wei was no longer the heir of the Lin family. When I heard the news, I was having dinner with Shen Qingqiao. Lao Yang called. Hao Yuan, have you heard the drama? Old Master Lin just announced that Lin Kai-wei is no longer the heir. It seems he's utterly disappointed. I lowered my eyes, my movement of sipping soup paused. When Old Master Lin called, he humbled himself, first apologizing on behalf of Lin Kai-wei's behavior and his own, and then hoping to schedule a meeting with me so that Lin Kai-wei would give up. I understood clearly. Right now, the relationship between the Lin and Shen families is tense. If I don't show up, it could continue to worsen. So I agreed to meet Lin Kai-wei on the condition that I bring Shen Qingqiao along. I lowered my eyes slightly and said softly, I heard that Old Master Lin in his youth single-handedly revived the declining Lin family. Of course, he has a talent for judging people. On the other end of the phone, Lao Yang agreed. Lao Yang added, there's more drama, the Xia family. A few days ago, they sold Xia Qiang to a middle-aged woman in her 50s. That woman's face was full of wrinkles, and her figure was plump. Xia Qiang was forced to register their marriage. He went crazy several times that day. The police even came. Netizens even took a picture of him crying his eyes out in front of the Civil Affairs Bureau. He cried his heart out, looking so pitiful. No wonder the rich lady took a liking to him. I hadn't said anything yet, when Shen Qingqiao put a piece of braised chicken wing in my bowl, her pink lips curling up slightly. A pitiful person must have a hateful side. He cried his heart out, looking so pitiful. Later there will be more for him to cry about. The meeting time was set for 3 days later. Lin Kai-wei was not idle. She found a lawyer to draw up a transfer agreement. As long as I signed, all the real estate under her name and supercars would belong to me. Next, she went to find out about my preferences and secretly prepared. On the 3rd day, Lin Kai-wei woke up early to do her makeup and went to the meeting point with Old Master Lin. In a private room of a 5-star hotel, Lin Kaiwei looked earnestly at the door, holding a Bugatti purchase contract in her hand. The waiter opened the door, and Shen Qingqiao and I walked in, hand in hand. The two of them wore matching gray outfits, simple yet happy. After I sat down, I gave a slight nod to Old Master Lin. Lin Kaiwei looked at my cold face. Her heart felt like it was being squeezed, aching so much she couldn't breathe. Since when had I stopped smiling at her? Lin Kaiwei took out the transfer agreement and a handwritten paper with my preferences, her voice hoarse. Hao Yuan, look, I've really changed. I sincerely beg you to come back. You can trust me, just one last time. I glanced at the handwritten paper, took it, and tore it up. I looked coldly at Lin Kaiwei. This paper is now torn to pieces. Can you restore it to its original state? Lin Kaiwei clenched her fists, her voice trembling. Everyone makes mistakes. Can't you give me a chance to make it right? I don't want to anymore. You're not worth it. I said very calmly, remembering what happened a month ago. I said indifferently, Lin Kaiwei, I really did love you once. But now, I really don't love you anymore. On the outside, I'm gentle and easygoing, but once I've made a decision, I won't change it. Even if I hadn't met Shen Qingqiao after leaving Lin Kaiwei, I would have lived alone. Lin Kaiwei's face grew even paler. I continued, I really hope that for the sake of the 5 years I took care of you, you won't bother me anymore. Let's really not see each other again. After speaking, I didn't look at Lin Kaiwei anymore. My gaze fell on the silent Old Master Lin. Mr. Lin, I have said everything I need to say. Qingqiao's side will no longer target the Lin family. I also hope you remember what you promised me. That day, Old Master Lin called and asked me to meet Lin Kaiwei one time, and I made 2 requests. One was to bring Shen Qingqiao along, and the other was for Old Master Lin to keep Lin Kaiwei in check. Old Master Lin's cloudy eyes lowered slightly, a hint of regret in them. He had lived for more than half his life, and was a very good judge of character. If I had married Lin Kaiwei, with Lin Kaiwei secure in her position as heir, the Lin family would have reached new heights. Unfortunately, Lin Kaiwei wasn't fated for that. Old Master Lin took out a red envelope and gave it to me. Hao Yuan, happy wedding. This is a token of my regard. I looked at the red envelope, my dark eyes reflecting the red color. Old Master Lin was one of the few elders from the Lin family who acknowledged me. I accepted the red envelope. Thank you, Mr. Lin. I'm sorry, this junior has other matters to attend to. Please excuse me. Old Master Lin nodded and finally let out a sigh. Outside the private room, I hadn't taken more than a few steps when Lin Kaiwei came out and looked at my back, calling out loudly, Hao Yuan, can we have one last hug? I frowned, about to refuse. In the hallway, Xia Qiang suddenly rushed out, his face contorted, holding concentrated sulfuric acid to splash in my face. Shen Qingqiao wanted to shield me, but she was talking to the waiter to pay the bill, so she was far away. Seeing this, Lin Kaiwei stepped forward to block me. The concentrated sulfuric acid splashed on her back and head, quickly corroding her skin and flesh. She let out a wretched scream. I was stunned for a few seconds, then walked up to Xia Qiang and punched him in the face. Xia Qiang, are you crazy? How dare you splash someone with concentrated sulfuric acid? If Lin Kaiwei hadn't blocked it, the one disfigured now would be me. Xia Qiang's right cheek was swollen. He looked unwillingly at the injured Lin Kaiwei, his voice trembling. Why did you block it for him? I only wanted to splash him. I didn't want to splash you. I frowned and punched Xia Qiang again. Just you wait. The Lin family won't let you get away with this. I won't let you off either. The ambulance arrived quickly. Before Lin Kaiwei was put into the ambulance, she looked at me with red-rimmed eyes, her voice weak. Hao Yuan, after this, can you forgive me? I looked at the blood-covered Lin Kaiwei, and just as I was about to speak, she fainted. 3 days later, I heard that Lin Kaiwei's condition was not good. Because she protected me, the back of her neck was splashed with concentrated sulfuric acid. When she was brought to the hospital, it was severely infected, and she had been in the ICU for emergency treatment ever since. Just as I thought, Old Master Liu did not let Xia Qiang off and sued him. I also returned to Lin City, had the maid testify, and sued Xia Qiang. In the end, Xia Qiang was sentenced to 30 years in prison. With something like this happening, I was in no mood to prepare for the wedding. Shen Qingqiao was understanding and announced to the public that the wedding was postponed. A few more days passed, and I received a call from Old Master Liu. Hao Yuan, you should come see Lin Kaiwei one last time. The girl isn't going to make it. My mind went blank for a few seconds, and I stared blankly at Shen Qingqiao. Shen Qingqiao said comfortingly, you should go see her. No matter what she did in the past, she saved your life then. Go see her so you won't have any regrets later. On the way there, I looked out the window, my mind a mess. I no longer love Lin Kaiwei, and before, I even hated her a little. But ironically, this time she saved me. Private hospital. In the hospital room. I looked at the person on the hospital bed, as thin as a stick, with a pale face. Lin Kaiwei's breath was weak. Seeing me, Lin Kaiwei suddenly smiled. This was the first time she had smiled in days. She called me over, patted my hand lightly, her voice extremely weak. Hao Yuan, don't cry. I'm sorry, I was wrong before. Now I sincerely apologize to you. Don't blame yourself for my passing. If it's possible, can you hug me one more time? I leaned down and gently hugged Lin Kaiwei, my voice hoarse. Don't die. Old Master Liu still needs you. Lin Kaiwei let out a soft laugh. She looked at Shen Qingqiao outside the window, then looked at me with reluctance. Happy wedding, my Hao Yuan. I sincerely hope you'll be happy forever. Finally, I walked out of the hospital room with red-rimmed eyes. Shen Qingqiao was standing in the hallway and hugged me as I trembled from crying. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. That night, the Lin family posted an obituary announcing the news of Lin Kaiwei's death. 3 days later was Lin Kaiwei's funeral. Shen Qingqiao and I went together. In the middle of the crowd, 2 people were dressed in black. I looked at Lin Kaiwei's coffin, my eyes red-rimmed. After you are reborn, find a better man. Lin Kaiwei, I sincerely wish you happiness in your next life. Half a year later, Shen Qingqiao and I held our wedding ceremony. The wedding venue was decorated entirely in a racing theme. This was the result of 2 months of careful preparation by Shen Qingqiao. For this wedding, she followed my wishes, not inviting people from the business world, only inviting close friends. When the bride and groom went around to toast the guests, Father Shen looked at me in my suit with satisfaction and gently patted my shoulder. Qingqiao specifically told us a few days ago that due to your past relationship, you might not want to have children for a while. She told us not to mention the topic of children in front of you, and that she would discuss it with you. I tilted my head to look at the girl with the delicate face beside me, Shen Qingqiao, in her white wedding dress, with rosy lips and white teeth. Seeing me look over, she gave me a gentle smile. Warmth filled my heart. Dad, I have completely let go of my past relationship. As for whether to have children or not, I will completely listen to Qingqiao. When I went over to my mother, she was holding a small handkerchief, crying silently. When you were 3 years old, I already thought this day would come. But when this day actually arrived, I still can't bear to let you go. My usually calm father also had red-rimmed eyes at this moment. I looked at my parents, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Other families cry when they marry off a daughter, but in our family, the 2 old folks are crying because we're gaining a daughter-in-law. The news of the Hao and Shen families holding a wedding immediately hit the top of the search rankings. Netizens all sent their blessings on social media. I heard CEO Shen is my childhood goddess. I'm so envious. That's also because I dared to stop in time, that trashy 8-year relationship. If it were a normal person, they couldn't just let go like that. CEO Shen is so warm and thoughtful. I heard the wedding venue was decorated according to Hao Yuan's preferences. Another day of envying other people's relationships. CEO Shen upstairs is giving away money on the platform next door. Quickly enter the password and grab some. 1 week later, Shen Qingqiao accompanied me to the prison where Xiaqiang was being held. After speaking with the warden, I quickly got to see Xiaqiang. Xiaqiang was wearing a baggy prison uniform. He had lost a lot of weight. His eyes were sunken, and the dark circles under his eyes were huge. The handsome man from before now looked almost 20 years older. When Xiaqiang saw that his visitor was me, a burst of anger erupted. He looked me up and down, trying to find a sense of superiority over me. But the me before him, under the loving care of Shen Qingqiao, exuded 2 words: happiness. Details about me not living well. His hands hanging at his sides clenched into fists, his expression full of resentment. Why should I be in prison for 30 years, while Hao Yuan is carefree outside, living an incredibly good life? Sensing Xiaqiang's extreme gaze, I took out a recent report from Hao Corporation and showed it to Xiaqiang through the glass. See this? After a year of my efforts, Hao Corporation has turned its losses into profits. Pausing for a moment, I took out my phone again and opened the wedding photo with Shen Qingqiao from a week ago. Qingqiao and I have already held our wedding. I should actually thank you for this. If it weren't for you tirelessly sharing day and night, telling me every day about the things Lin Kaiwei did for you, my determination to leave her probably wouldn't have been so strong. Who would have thought I'd end up marrying my childhood goddess? When netizens found out we got married, they all sent their blessings. My voice was full of smugness. Shen Qingqiao tilted her head to look at my delicate face, her eyes full of adoration. How come she had never seen me with this infuriating side that could make someone die of anger? Xiaqiang's eyes seemed to be on fire with jealousy. In his eyes, I was in no way equal to her. It was because he went abroad and no longer needed Lin Kaiwei that I had the chance to step in and have Lin Kaiwei for a short time. But why would a mediocre person as forbearing and patient as me make Lin Kaiwei willing to take concentrated sulfuric acid for me? And why would Shen Qingqiao want to marry me? Xiaqiang narrowed his eyes and snorted. Hao Yuan, no matter how much you brag, you can't deny one thing, which is that I received your bone marrow, and that's why I can live well now. In the dead of night, every time you think about this, you're probably too angry to sleep, right? A flash of anger appeared in Shen Qingqiao's sparkling eyes. Just as she was about to get angry, I took her hand and gently rubbed it. Immediately after, I smiled at the person behind the glass, at Xiaqiang with his smug expression. You have no conscience whatsoever, so I can rest assured. I heard you're being bullied in prison. If I go meet that inmate a little later, I hadn't even finished speaking when Xiaqiang's face turned pale with fear. He glared at me. I hadn't even finished speaking when Xiaqiang's face turned pale with fear. He glared at me and cursed angrily. You dare? I tilted my head to look at Shen Qingqiao, and the 2 of us looked at each other and smiled. Before coming to the prison, they had investigated and found that Xiaqiang's days in prison were not easy. These inmates found out that Xiaqiang was in prison for splashing concentrated sulfuric acid on Lin Kaiwei, and for harming the person who had given him bone marrow, so they began to isolate him. That inmate's favorite thing to do is make Xia Qiang perform a propless car race. Didn't you claim to be Wu Ju? Perform a car race for me. Every time he was called upon, Xia Qiang would break down and weakly get up to perform. I smirked slightly, my smile radiant. Of course I dare. Xia Qiang, you have to live well. He'll come visit you every few months. As soon as I finished speaking, I ignored what was behind me. Xia Qiang screams and turned to speak with the warden, wanting to visit an inmate named Wang Gang. That night, while Xia Qiang was performing his propless car race, another level of difficulty was added. The inmate Wang Gang pointed at him and said sternly, Mr. Yuan said, Wu Jiu knows the divine dragon tail whip technique, and he also knows how to overtake on corners. Come on, didn't you claim to be Wu Jiu? Perform it, for me. 3 years later, Xinqing Qiao got pregnant and gave birth. I waited outside the delivery room, holding a bouquet of sunflowers. 5 hours later, the baby was pushed out first by a nurse. I didn't even glance at the baby. Even my mother didn't go to see the baby, but anxiously grabbed the nurse's hand and asked, Where's my daughter-in-law? Don't worry, both mother and child are safe. The mother is right behind. Not until Xinqing Qiao was finally pushed out did I rush forward. I looked at Xinqing Qiao's pale face on the hospital bed, weak, and for the first time, my eyes turned red in front of her. King Qiao, tomorrow, I'm going to get a vasectomy. We're not having any more children. Mother Xian's eyes also turned red, and she wiped her tears, saying, That's right, no more children. It was too difficult. Xinqing Qiao looked at me with my red, crying eyes and gave me a weak smile. Don't cry, Hao Yuan. I leaned down and kissed her cheek. Thank you for giving me a child. I love you, King Qiao.